on Divorce Court today. Should happy hour be just me time? Sean says Ginny has banned him from her Friday night tradition and hides her phone. Ginny believes that Sean is still sleeping with his ex. Is this how to start a strong marriage? Sean Tierney and Ginny Pringle have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toller to resolve. Testimony in divorce court before your vows starts now.
I have here Sean Tierney and Ginny Pringle. The two of you are engaged to be married. You love each other, but you're just not quite sure marriage is the thing to do. So you've come to ask me my opinion. You've given me your marriage license, which you've given me permission to tear up should I think this is an ill-advised union. You've also completed a compatibility test, and we'll talk about that momentarily. But before I get to those things, Mr. Tierney, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me why you love this woman, but you're not quite sure you're ready to make her your wife?
When I met her, it was love at first sight. We got along great. Sparks flew. Everything was going great. And just over time, I feel like she's disinterested, and now I have a trust issue with her.
Okay. Tell me about the trust issue. What makes you concerned?
She believes that we should have blind trust. I shouldn't ask questions. I shouldn't look into things. I should just assume everything is on the up and up no matter what. One incident that I can recall just about a month ago, 4 hours goes by, I don't hear from her. She supposedly goes to a friend's house for dinner, nothing to worry about. She comes home, immediately changes her clothes, and I said, a couple of red flags just went up. Could you please open your phone so I don't have to look at it and just show me that you were where you said you were? If you're at a friend's brother's house, I'm sure it'll say stop at my brother's house. Just something showing me where you were. She said no. This resulted in...
I shouldn't have to.
Ms. Pringle, I'm going to get to you. Mr. Tierney, go ahead.
So over the course of the last month, having these red flags, I did a little investigating and kept my mouth shut up till today. I've spoke with the gentleman that she went on the date with. I went to the house where you supposedly had your barbecue, and he knows you, but you didn't have a barbecue over there. I went on her phone 2 nights ago and held that password in my head for a month and a half, waiting to use it for this. And I went in there, and her friend that validated her and said, yeah, she was with me, wasn't even in the state of Minnesota at the time. She ended up flying in a day and a half later and then validated your story in a car ride. And I said, well, you know where we're going. We're going to her brother's house. Tell me how to get there. She couldn't tell me how to get there. So this turned into a whole investigation, and I found out the truth. She wasn't where she said she was, and the gentleman that we're referring to that she texts every day and you delete his texts every day, I spoke with him. He said he does not know that you have a boyfriend, did not know that we were in the position we were in.
But he does.
He doesn't.
Now, Ms. Pringle, this thing went all the way left on me right out the gate. I wasn't at all prepared for this. I imagine you weren't either. Do you know the gentleman to whom he refers?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Now, wait a minute. He's got a lot of circumstantial evidence that things might not be copacetic on your end. What do you have to say?
Sean already has asked me about this gentleman, and I've already explained to him that it's somebody that I used to work with. As a matter of fact, when I ran into him, we were out together when I got his number. So
you said...
Hang on,
let me finish.
Hang on. Now, hey. Woo. Got warm quickly. Go ahead.
So, nevertheless, I was with him when I ran into this gentleman. And so going out with him, catching up with him about work things or, what projects he's working on, I don't see an issue with that.
Okay. Here's my question.
And why is he going on my phone? If he thinks that I'm cheating or I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing, he needs to come to me with it. He doesn't have the right to go on my phone, which is a continuous issue.
Are you done? My question to you is, can you explain the discrepancies in your location and where you were and what you're doing to which he just referred?
You already know that I was with that person.
But I don't know. You have to talk. Ms. Pringle, Ms. Pringle, let me tell you something here. Excuse me. You and I are not going to get along, and I can tell you why. Because you seem to think you can speak whenever you want to, speak to him when you want to, and me however you want to, and that is not the case. You with me? Mm-hmm. Can you respond to the accusations he made that you were not at the dinner you said you were at, and instead were with this guy?
But I was at the dinner that I said that I was at with with the girl that I'm referring to, and another one of our girlfriends who we all hang out when she comes into town. And I've already explained that to Sean.
So you say his intel is bad?
Yep.
That his investigation
Yep.
led him to the wrong conclusion?
Yep.
Let me ask you this. Do you believe that you've ever done anything to make Mr. Tierney jealous? Does he, at any time, were there any concerns or goof-ups, mess-ups, or problems that would lead him to believe that you might be cheating on him?
Nope.
Never?
No, the only thing that I feel that he thinks that I'm doing to conclude that I'm cheating is not showing him my phone, or if I have plans with a girlfriend and I don't get back to him.
Okay. Let me ask you, Mr. Tierney, has there really been any, other than what we just talked about, because it's confusing, you know, it looks this way, it could be that way. In the past, has she ever done anything that you can point to and said, hey, she did cheat on me, or hey, she is going outside of our relationship?
She's going outside of our relationship, not physically cheating, but entertaining texts from other men that I see, setting up dates to go hang out and have a drink. She goes to happy hour that I'm not invited to on Friday nights.
Now, have you seen any of these messages, and what do they say?
Yes, just making plans. How are you? I miss you. Just socializing, you know, but it's inappropriate. You shouldn't be texting a man telling him you miss him.
But if it's a friend and I actually miss him, then I don't see what the big deal is. And when if he asks me about it, then I tell him. Like he's referring to my happy hours. So every Friday after work, I get off at 5. I hate driving in 5 o'clock traffic. So there's a apartment community where I used to sell condos at. It's my routine. I've been doing it for years. I go to this bar every Friday after work, and there's regulars that I know there. So he knows that. Why do I need to invite him to this happy hour when I'm going to just meet people on that side of town and then go home? It's not to exclude him. Sean always thinks that I'm up to something.
But it doesn't have anything to do with him, is what you're saying. It's a practice that you've had for years, and you're just continuing to do it.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this. If I were to ask you to let him look at your phone right now, would you do it?
Yeah.
You have nothing to hide.
No.
So if I were to ask you to do it, I guess it's the principle that's bothering you.
To me, it's the principle because it's a privacy thing. I consistently change my password. He consistently knows it. You know, just before we came out
Why
of
do you
here.
keep changing your password?
Because he keeps going in my phone. To me, it's a privacy thing. If I'm having a conversation with a friend, why should he be able to go on my phone? I don't go on his phone.
My husband can go in my phone anytime. I tried to give him my passcode. He says, I don't want to know who you call. I'm not interested.
Next, a sexting surprise that doesn't really have prank written all over it. Your mama warned you not to marry your mate. If she was right and divorce is your best option, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt. Divorce Court, real relationships, raw emotion. Testimony continues now.
I'd like to turn the tables for a moment. Do you have any concerns about his fidelity?
Yeah, I do, because Sean has a concept that he calls tit for tat.
Okay, tell me what that is.
Meaning that if I'm out with a friend and he thinks that I'm out with somebody else, or I don't get back to him fast enough because he can't stand being alone, he'll go hang out with another girl, which he has done several times, like a month ago. So he sent me photos of a picture of him.
Just to make sure you know he's with a woman.
Yeah. Now, he says it was a prank at the end of the day, but anybody who would have gotten these photos, you would never know if it was a prank because his private part was next to her butt. Then he threw an empty condom wrapper in the toilet, and I'll just stop there. So, and then calls it a prank.
Mr. Tierney?
I know.
Did you do that?
True prank. Yeah, that was the night.
Oh
this
God.
happened the night.
How would you know it was a
Wait,
prank?
no. I'm the only one who gets to fuss at anybody in here. Just me.
All right.
Now, how old are you, sir?
41.
even if it was a prank, at 41, you're going to pull out your situation, take a picture of it, and all
Your
of that.
Honor,
it doesn't make any sense.
It was next to her behind with no panties on. That's a prank? That's a pretty slick prank.
Hold on.
That's a pretty slick prank.
Do you have women friends who will allow you to...
She was passed, though. She doesn't know this happened.
To me, that's even worse.
This was the night that we had the blowout. I said, where were you for 4
but
hours?
that
So I went out
doesn't
there
give
and
you...
did that.
Hey, Mr. Tierney.
All right, Sarah.
You can't do anything, take pictures of, or sexually in any way handle a woman's body when she's passed out.
I didn't touch her body.
Yeah, but you put her behind on, you took a photo of it. She was unconscious.
Yeah.
She was unable to consent. You put it in a sexual context. That's just really creepy and wrong. It's just wrong. And just creepy. I mean, who does that?
That's
it's
what I
creepy.
said, Your Honor. That's what I said.
Wow,
and that's
Mr. Tierney.
Tit for tat. When I wasn't even out, when I was out with my girlfriends that night, how was that tit for tat if I wasn't out doing
Listen,
anything?
you know, I'm shuttered by it. I don't need any editorial. I'm throwing up
that
with
was
it.
the first example. So,
Mr. Tierney, you say Ms. Pringle is domineering. Why don't you explain that allegation?
Well, living with her, she'll just up on any given day, just look at you like never smiles at me, never says hello, never greets me with a kiss, never has any positivity when we see each other on a day-to-day. Not even a kiss goodbye. I kiss her goodbye every day, tell her I love her, have a great day at work. I'll talk to you after work. I try to stay positive because we're both in the field of sales. She, doesn't do any of that, and then will literally kick me out of our place, and then I'll just go stay at another place for a day or two. And then it's like finally when she's ready to see me and she's done being irritated with me, then I'm free to come back home.
Ms. Pringle, would you care to respond to that? Is that an accurate characterization of your countenance, or is there something else? Or is he just telling me stuff?
In terms of him saying that there are times that I don't smile at him.
Or that you lack warmth and showing him care and compassion. Some people aren't demonstrative. Is that you?
At times, yes, but usually I feel there's a reason. It's like everything is on Sean's terms. You know, he comes home, he's on the phone for a while, he's doing this, he's doing that, he's got to, make this plan, that plan. And then when he's done, he expects me to give him warmth. That's not how I work. I don't work after you've walked in and did what you needed to do, and now you're going to complain that you don't get my attention. I don't think so.
I got you. Now we've talked a lot about what you don't like. I want to spend some time focusing on the love of it.
When Divorce Court Before Your Vows continues, what new secrets will the compatibility test reveal? If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and join the conversation on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court Before Your Vows continues.
Now, as dark as this thing has turned, at least for me, we've got to keep in mind that the two of you came here because you're considering marrying one another. With that said, and I know when you concentrate on the problems, it sounds problematic. So, Mr. Tierney, I'm going to start with you. You give me 90 seconds on why this woman right here is the love of your life and the person you want to make your wife. Go.
It was just love at first sight. We got along great. We hit it off. We, started hanging out and had a great time together. We have all the same friends. We're in a good community where we know everybody, and it just went really well. I mean, I'm very much in love with her. I want to see things progress in a positive manner. I think we're just at a road bump where we have to kind of either A, part or push a little bit harder and be more honest and move forward.
Now say something. See, you talked about your circumstances, you talked about the people around you, you said love at first sight, but you didn't say anything nice about her. Okay. You didn't say that she was funny or happy or that she was kind or she was smart or nothing. You didn't talk about her as a person. You could have put any woman in that. Do say something specific that you like about this woman.
Oh, she's amazing. I mean, like I said, we hit it off. She's gorgeous. I love her. I mean, we spend, every day together, so it's...
That's a D+.
A D?
Yes, a D plus. Miss Pringle, let's
like that
see if
too.
you can do a little better. I want you to give me a 90-second sales job on why this man over here is the man you want to spend the rest of your life with. Go.
You know, he's a good person. He's very loving. He has a warm heart. He gives me the butterflies when he touches me. I like that, you know, it's easy for him to meet my friends and fill into my circle. I love that he's funny at times. And I mean, that sums it
Now,
up.
see, she got a B.
Yeah, she did, baby.
Do you see the difference between what she said and what you said?
You're sweet, dear.
Yeah, you know, she spoke of you as a person, not
Yes.
as a gear in her machinery. But that's okay. Sometimes it's tougher for guys. I don't know what the problem is, but we'll keep moving. I looked at your compatibility test, and Mr. Tierney, really, you pulled a completely, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked both of you what were the 5 things that were wrong with you, and he said nothing. He's fine. You know, he's perfect. He's got no problems, you know. You know, Instagramming the situation and all. He's got it together. You took it more seriously, and I appreciate that. You said I could communicate better, I could give more affection. Sometimes I'm too independent, I want things quickly. Don't you see a little bit of this in the complaints that he had? I could give more affection, I could communicate better. One of his concerns was that you don't seem to be warm and loving towards him, and I think you even see that in yourself.
Oh, I do.
Yeah? You do?
Yeah.
Yep.
But when I'm wrong, you know, when I see things, I'm willing to recognize it. Mm-hmm. Him, on the other hand, not so much.
Mm-hmm. Having recognized it, do you think it's something that you would like to change a little bit in order to make him happy?
At this point, I don't know.
I mean, you're reading hell no. I mean, your face says not interested, don't care, you know, really want to go home, don't even think he's cool anymore.
Right, because if he's writing down nothing, 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 what does that say about him? That obviously he's not
Dudes
taking
do that sometimes. I don't know. You know, I give this a lot, and women never do, but every once in a while a dude will come up with, ain't nothing wrong with me. They know it's not true, but they have a hard time saying it. I'm just saying. I mean, it's not all him.
Judge Lynn Toller's ruling next. Divorce Court. Judge Lynn Toller's ruling right now.
Do you want to marry him? I mean, seriously. Because to me,
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
you don't look interested. And I don't know if you just look like that all the time. I mean, you're a gorgeous woman. I mean, absolutely stunning to look at. But you're pissed. Or at least you read pissed. Are you as pissed as you look?
I'd say it's 50-50.
Mr. Tierney, I think you're immature. That stuff you did with the picture was just creepy. But you seem like you're nice and want to have a fun time. Mm-hmm. Do you still want to marry her?
Yes.
Because?
Because I love her. We spent this time together. I think we have something good. We just have to communicate a little better.
Listen, I wouldn't marry anybody cut my eyes at me like she cuts your eyes at you. I'm feeling no warmth, no love, no nothing from over on this side.
That's every day.
Me to you, you to me. I would say run like the wind, get a bus ticket, plane ticket, put on some track shoes, and keep it moving, because I would not stay in this relationship. This matter is adjourned.
Sean and Ginny are taking the judge's ruling to heart, and Ginny says the judge has opened her eyes to Sean's behavior. Post a comment or submit your case at divorcecourt.com or call toll-free 1-877-311-2222. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Divorce Court.